there. I have had absolute crap dating experiences throughout my 24 years on the earth. I've only had one relationship that didn't end in a rolling dumpster fire. The sad thing is that I almost always knew that these relationships were probably gonna end up shitty. I swear to God, you line up 100 people and I will pick the most mentally ill, attention-starved bastard every time. Like, my problem is I always go for people who are really smart, yet really manipulative. I guess that's my type. When I was in college, I kept falling head over heels into these relationships with just awful, awful people. But because they were smart and manipulative, anytime that I did have the confidence to call them out on their bullshit and how they were treating me, they would almost always know how to manipulate and trick me into staying. Now, after the 5th or 6th disastrous relationship like this, I turned to my best friend and roommate and said, I don't know what's wrong with me. There must be something clinically wrong with me if I keep letting myself get into this situation. I'm just gonna die alone with 7 cats. Bitch, this pity party doesn't have any free booze, so I am not coming. But I brought booze. What? Share then, ho! And my good old friend Tiffany told me, you just need to learn from your mistakes. Look, make a list of things that you find unacceptable. And if you feel like you're falling for a guy who exhibits any of that behavior, deal breaker, give him the boot. Yeah, but what if every guy that I like has these traits? I'll be single forever. Yeah, but you won't be dating an asshole. Wow, you're right. Yeah, I know I'm right. Now let's go get some cake. With Tiffany's help, I learned that there was a big difference between someone having quirks that you could overlook and someone being a butt plug, or at the very least, not being very compatible with my personality. Beyond superficial stuff or things like personal preferences, these are things that I think are just bad qualities to have or things that you should look out for any person who wants to date a person. I may not have good advice on the actual dating process because I've only ever really dated crazy people, so I don't think I'm a very good frame of reference, but I can tell you who not to date. Don't date someone who doesn't respect your boundaries. If you tell someone that something is making you uncomfortable and they don't care and keep doing it anyway, don't date them. A cliche yet still relevant example is, okay, look, I'm not very comfortable having sex with you. Yeah, but you see, I really, really want the sex, so we should have it because I want it. Sex. If they are comfortable making you uncomfortable, ditch them. Don't date someone you don't trust. If your significant other tells you that they are over at Becky's house and you honestly do not believe that that is where they are, the relationship is already over. In my experience, once someone starts thinking that it's okay to lie to you, they've already shown that they don't have the mutual respect that it requires to be in a relationship. I honestly don't see the point of being with someone who you can't trust is telling you the truth. If you feel the need that you have to compulsively check their social media accounts to prove that they are not at Becky's house, then I don't understand the point of being in a relationship, so just don't date someone who you don't trust before it gets to that. On the other hand, don't date someone who doesn't trust you. You've never done anything to compromise the trust in your relationship, never cheated or done anything like untrustworthy or shady, and they still don't trust you? Don't put up with that shit. I've met so many people who have had significant others that are constantly obsessing about their whereabouts, stalking their social media, never believing that they're at Becky's house, And when they ask the other person why they feel the need to do this, the significant other comes back with some piss poor excuse like, oh, well, I was cheated on in the past, so now I have trust issues. If they don't trust you, then why are they with you? Especially, like, if you never did the cheating or the anything in the first place, that's ludicrous to me. It gets to the point where it's not just someone reasonably making sure they're not being cheated on again, it's just controlling, disturbing behavior that nobody needs to put up with. You don't deserve to be in a relationship where you are punished for a crime that you did not commit. Don't date someone who expects you to give up more for them than they would for you. If they think that an adult relationship means that you have to constantly compromise for them, but they never have to compromise for you, then clearly they aren't ready for an adult relationship. Don't date someone who constantly puts down or mocks your interests. If they constantly find ways to mock or insult you or your interests, even if it's by accident, then they clearly don't see you as equal to them. Don't date someone who doesn't let the dogs and or cats sleep in the bed because clearly they have no soul. Don't date someone that doesn't feel the need to remind you that they care. Different personalities show affections in certain ways, but if the person goes around acting like they're not even in a relationship, then I don't think they're that invested in keeping you. Don't date someone you aren't attracted to. I feel like girls in particular are told that if somebody likes them, that they should give them a chance regardless of whether or not they are genuinely attracted to that person. You don't owe anybody anything, and it's not your job to try to like someone back who likes you. It's okay to say thanks, but no thanks. Don't date someone who constantly expects you to drive across town to see them, but never drives across town to see you. Don't date someone who says that you should lose weight. Don't date anyone who needs you to dull your shine to be around them. Don't date anyone who doesn't make you feel like you're a better person because you know them. Don't date anyone who you're not excited to be dating. And don't stay with anyone for any other reason than you really want to. Because no matter what, if you feel like the relationship's over, staying is almost like a lie of omission. If clearly it feels over to you, end it. So that other person may be sad for a while, but what's worse, being in a relationship that's basically a farce, or to just have a clean break? I hope you like this video. I hope it helps out in any small way to anyone who's thinking about being adult and dating. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if that's your thing, and send this video to everyone you know who maybe needs to evaluate who not to date.